What's up and welcome to another episode of Keys to the Game as we break down this Super WildCard matchup between the 12-4 Pittsburgh Steelers and the 11-5 Cleveland Browns. I mean, this is an interesting matchup for obviously the various storylines surrounding both franchises, but more importantly, some of the current things going on with the Browns organization from a COVID and injury standpoint. But that's neither here nor there because it's Super WildCard weekend and this game is getting played. So the first matchup we got to talk about is Big Ben Roethlisberger versus that Browns secondary. Now, I'm not going to name a specific player in that secondary because honestly, we don't know who's going to be out there. I mean, earlier in the week, these guys were available. Then that shifted. Either way, whatever defensive backs they put out there, Ben has to take advantage of them. And we've seen Mason take advantage of the similar players that were out there with some of his deep ball throws. Man, Ben, you got to lean on his veteran leadership. You have to lean on him in terms of his playoff experience because this is still a very young team in terms of playoff experience with the Steelers. So look for Ben to provide that wave. But the biggest way he's going to do that is by taking advantage of that Browns secondary that, like I said, has been depleted due to some of the injuries and some of the COVID. So with that being the case, man, if Ben can do those things and play up to his full potential, man, we will all enjoy our Super WildCard Sunday night matchup. Now, the next matchup we got to talk about is on this offensive line. Al Villanueva versus Myles Garrett. Now, we know anytime you get Steelers and Browns, this is the matchup. This is the key right here. Can Al keep 7 clean? When you're talking about a Browns team that is dealing with the amount of personnel or loss of significant personnel and productivity that they're dealing with, the next thing that they're going to do in order to try to keep themselves in the game is create a nice pass rush, create havoc, try to force an interception, get a strip sack to create a turnover. All of that is going to be predicated on Myles Garrett, though, because there is no Olivier Vernon this week. So, Al, you have to do your job. You have to keep 7 clean, keep playing at a high level, and make sure that you do your job. Because if 7 has time, 7 is going to cook. No doubt about it. Now, this third matchup that we're going to talk about, I'm excited about as well because it's dealing with the offensive line, but it's the reverse element of it. We're talking about the Browns offensive line and Jack Conklin versus TJ Watt, the reigning, well, not reigning, he will be soon enough, just wait on it, but the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year. Man, TJ Watt is on a tear, and he has matched up extremely well with the Browns regardless of which offensive lineman he's faced, whether it was right or left tackle. He's been a crazy productive player throughout his career versus the Browns. I anticipate that continuing without a shadow of a doubt. Man, TJ is going to be rested. He's going to be chomping at the bit because this is going to be his first real playoff action where he is the guy. Remember that in 2017, he was a part of a little bit of a rotation. He is the man. He is the face of this defense. So I'm excited to see him and his coming out party to let the league know that he is the guy going forward. Now, this fourth matchup we're going to talk about is Baker Mayfield versus the Steelers secondary. Man, Minka, Edmonds, obviously you got Steven Olsen, guys like Justin Lane, Cam Sutton. Man, they're going to have to take full advantage of Baker Mayfield. Even though this is an 11-win team, even though Baker has flashed at times, he still struggles to see the field. That is still very much prevalent in his game. Now, we know that this offense is based on what? Running the ball and play action pass. But we have to assume that because of the losses from COVID and injury on that offensive line for the Browns, they're going to have a very, very tough time trying to run the ball consistently against this Steelers defense. So for me, I feel that, man, this secondary wins because that's going to be the next move, right? Play action to now we're just going to have to throw this ball. This secondary for the Steelers has to take advantage of Baker's mistakes. They've done it before when they were at full strength, and look for them to do it again. Man, when Baker is inaccurate with his throws, or if he doesn't see the field the way he needs to and throws into a bad part of coverage, make him pay. If the defense does that, it will be smooth sailing because that is the biggest way they're going to be able to hurt them due to some of these injuries and COVID that they're dealing with. Now, the fifth and final key that we got to talk about, fifth and final key matchup, Vince Williams and Avery Williamson versus Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Now, Avery had to deal with that tandem by himself last week, right? He had a sprinkle of Vince, but then he was with Marcus Allen and a little bit of a rotation in that second half. Now, he's going to have his running mate the whole time. Vince is going to be there the whole time with him. And now look for that to effectively eliminate that rushing attack. We know how great Vince has been against the run all year. At times throughout the year, for a large majority of the year, he was leading the league in tackles for losses. Look for that to continue. Look for him to play with great passion, because this is another big opportunity for him. He was a part of those playoff runs, so we're going to lean on him for experience. And I think that, man, this is one of his type of games. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, they love to run very tough and physical. Well, that's what Vince's game. Vince is built for, 70s, 80s style football, early 90s style football. This is going to be one of those games for him. So fully anticipate him being a key factor in this, because if Avery and Vince can ultimately minimize those two guys, well, now, yeah, you got to rely on Baker. And we already talked about how Baker will struggle to see that field and with his decision making. So those are my keys to this game. I cannot wait for this matchup, and I hope you enjoy it. But more importantly, this segment is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook and app. Not only is it safe, but it's secure, and as you and me both know, it is reliable. All right, and for all the first-time users out there, if you use the promo code Moats, you will receive up to $1,000 in deposit bonus money. So stop wasting time, download the app, use the promo code, and get an opportunity to make a little money. But more importantly, take that opportunity and enjoy this Super Wild Card weekend, baby. And until next time, peace.